3 of us rode the Sherco 500 SEF factory for 2 days. Here is our 2023 Sherco review. These are 2022 models, but the only change for 2023 is injected plastic mouldings. I love a big bore thumper for open tracks. You just ride in that meaty mid-range power and fly. This is the advantage of 500cc Enduro engines. They are less snappy compared to their 450cc cousins. They don't rev so quickly, and you get extra grunt. If you aren't racing, it's a great combination. Let's start with the known issues. These Shercos are from an Australian tour company. Their entire fleet now has several thousand hours of engine time. Problems? The tour manager scratched his head and eventually said this radiator overflow pipe has a sharp curve and they are worried the rubber might eventually crack. Apart from that, their Shercos have been flawless. I contacted the guy who helped us to create our Sherco 2-stroke known issues vid. He said the modern 4-strokes are problem-free. Years ago, the early models apparently were a bit heavy, some riders didn't like the weird ergonomics, and the engines were a bit underpowered. But it seems those days are long gone. What didn't I like? In the past, I did not like the snappy throttle response of big 4-strokes with fuel injection. The Sherco is much better than my previous thumpers, but I would probably use a G2 throttle tamer to make it even smoother. For open tracks, no problem, but I would want to soften that throttle for gnarly terrain. Sherco ergonomics tend to suit short and mid-sized riders. The 500 SEF is no exception. A steering stabiliser was fitted, which raised the handlebars, so I was quite comfortable, despite being much taller than most riders. But I would probably add bar risers too to feel completely comfortable. What did we like? The lack of known issues is a great start. The power delivery is brilliant. The big Sherco handles well and feels quite light. With the steering stabiliser, it felt very steady at higher speeds. I don't know if it would feel twitchy at high speed without the stabiliser. The KYB suspension works better the harder you ride. At slower speeds, it can feel a bit harsh. Similar to my 2-stroke Sherco, you can reduce the compression setting to 0, which makes a big difference. Another tip from Sherco owners is to remove 10cc of fork oil from each leg. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm told it makes the factory KYB setup very plush. If you like bling, you will be happy with the factory model. It's interesting to see that the factory models are so popular that Sherco is dropping some of the base racing models. Bloody hell. One of the best things, of course, is the apparent reliability. As mentioned, this tour company has several thousand hours across their fleet now with 0 problems. It would be interesting to try an adventure conversion with the Sherco 500 SEF. A big fuel tank, comfortable seat, push drive hub, extra oil capacity, a windscreen. It might be an interesting project for the future. Have you ridden or owned the 450 SEF or 500 SEF? We are keen to hear what you liked and what you didn't like. Let us know in the comments.